Am I the a-hole for not forgiving my dying mom 10 years later? 10 years ago, when I was 18, my parents refused to help me with college. They were super successful and were millionaires, and I was promised a college fund my entire life, just like my 4 older siblings. They told me that dad wasn't my dad and that I was mom's affair kid, and they basically threw me out after I turned 18. My childhood best friend's parents took me in, and I worked and saved for 2 years while going to community college. I ended up going to a better college for my final 2 years. My parents never reached out to me because I blocked all of them on everything. I now have a great paying job in tech, and I make good money. Once I started making real money, I gave my friend's parents $50,000 as a thank you for everything and a 2-week paid vacation. And honestly, they still deserve more. I'll forever be grateful to them. About 2 weeks ago, I got a phone call from an unknown number, and it was my mom's husband, the man I always call Dad. He told me that mom has cancer and that she's in the hospital and doesn't have much time left, and that she's been asking to see and talk to me. He said they were sorry about what happened and told me they made a mistake, but that she's dying, and begged me to just come and see her. I didn't. I told him they lied to my face my entire life, got my hopes up, and destroyed me. I told him they were all already dead to me and that that part of my life is done and gone. He got mad and started cussing me out, saying he was glad he didn't spend more money on a bastard like me. I just hung up on him and blocked his number. I'm still sort of in contact with a cousin of mine, and I asked to see if mom's actually sick. And yeah, apparently she's been in the hospital for a week since he called me. She really doesn't look good, and probably doesn't have a lot of time left. And honestly, a part of me is really torn about this. Like I'm hurting a dying woman and preventing her dying wish. But that dying woman had no problem lying to her own son his whole life. She never reached out to me. My friend's parents lived in the same small village that my parents lived in. I was minutes away from them. She never tried to reach out and explain her side in 10 whole years. Heck, she never reached out just to speak to me about literally anything. But it's still weighing heavily on me. Should I just go, or am I justified not to? Now for the top comments. Honestly, without sounding like a dickhead, F them. You're good. You don't have a mother, because a mother would never do this to her child. So you're good. You have no obligation. She threw you out and was dead to you for 10 years. She had 10 years to reach out, but waited until the end to do it. That's incredibly selfish of her. You have done your grieving. You have mourned a life with your family, and now she's coming back in for a fading glimpse of what could have been, before being snatched away again? Do they even have actual DNA proof that you were not biologically his? Peace with this one comes from within. Take yourself away from distractions, but on some calming music. Take some deep breaths, quieten your mind, and truly listen to you. What is your instinct and intuition telling you to do? He got mad and started cussing me out, and he said he was glad he didn't spend more money on a bastard like me. This one remains an a-hole, but it's still weighing heavily on me. This one is on you. Only you gets to determine if saying goodbye or meeting her will give you closure. It is always telling when a-holes choose their dying beds for reaching out. She had 10 years. You are not the a-hole, but only you decides how you will feel if she dies, and you never said goodbye. Honestly, I've made my peace with it years ago. That's your answer then, mate. You don't owe them anything. She is probably trying to lighten the load of her own guilt now that she is dying, but that's her problem, not yours. Petty me would visit her long enough to tell her to enjoy hell, then walk out. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she better hope my sisters take care of her if she ever gets sick or physically disabled because I won't do a thing for her? My mom's a single mom. She has 4 of us. I'm a half-brother to my 3 younger sisters. But my mom's relationship with their dad was complicated too. Mom had me, 17. She doesn't know my dad. Nobody's on my birth certificate. When I was 1, she started dating my half-sister's dad. She got pregnant with Grace, 15, and then they broke up. When Grace was 5, they got back together, got married, and had Arya, 9, and Alexis, 8. My mom never treated me the same as my sisters. I think she resented me for not being their dad's kid. He never cared for me either. He just straight up ignored me while mom would leave me at other people's houses. Like, if I went to a friend's house, she'd plan stuff with my sisters. Or she'd abandon me at parties for hours after they ended, so she could do other stuff with her family. She bought toys and candy for my siblings and left me out of that. Her husband always spent big on gifts for my sisters every Christmas and birthday. I'm talking big for each of them. I never got anything like that. Mom used to give me clothes and said they were things I needed, so she'd take care of two birds with one stone. When my half-sister's dad died, Mom treated me even worse. She'd yell at me for existing. I'm being serious too. All it took was her seeing me and she'd fly into a rage. Other times, she'd get mad at me for not taking care of my sisters or for not doing more around the house. I started babysitting for friends' parents and neighbors. She got mad that I had money and didn't spend it on my sisters. She's hit me before, slapped me clean across the face, and dropped stuff on my hand because I was bothering her with my existence. I wouldn't do some work on her husband's grave, and she really wanted to beat me, but instead, she slapped me. She told me her husband was the greatest man alive, and that he was such a good family man, and that she and my sisters were so lucky to have him. I told her I wasn't, and she said it wasn't about me. She's always quick to make excuses for bad behavior from my sisters, especially if they steal from me or hit me. It's happened. Grace calls me names and slaps me a lot. She calls me a little bee. Mom doesn't care. They can get kicked out of a birthday party or a friend's house for crappy behavior and she'll excuse it. If I breathe in a way that annoys her, she'll get mad at me. Mom was whining about me working and not providing for my family the other day. I got a part-time job last year and have held the same job since. She told me my sisters would like a nice Christmas this year and how she wants them to have a pamper day and stuff, and I should be helping her do that. She said she wanted my help decorating too. I told her I'm not helping her ever. I said she better hope my sisters take care of her if she ever gets sick or physically disabled, because I won't do a thing for her. She got so mad she smashed a vase. She told me I had no business speaking such disrespect to my own mother. Am I the a-hole? And no, I don't have any family to turn to. Her husband's family are around, but I was never their family. Get out ASAP. Cut ties, drop the rope, etc. Make a good life for yourself and move on from these people. You're not wrong to say what you said, but saying it out loud does put you at a disadvantage. You're revealing your cards, which doesn't benefit you. Your sentiment is fair, but keep it to yourself. It just creates aggravation if you say anything. Make a plan to get your own roof over your head, keep any important papers like your birth certificate, etc. safe, or figure out how to get copies. Lock down your credit too. Your family knows enough about you to take out credit in your name. When you're out, stay out, cut contact, or go low contact at most. They'll need you before you need them. I'm leaving as soon as I turn 18. My plan is to lean on some charities that can help once a person is 18. They can help with housing and making sure people get to continue their education as in high school. What about trying to find your father using one of those Find Your Relatives companies? If your mom doesn't know who he is, he may be a good guy. He doesn't even know you exist. It's worth a shot. Just be aware that he may also be the scum of the earth. Be mentally prepared for this option as well. Your mom doesn't have the best record in choosing men. I'm not in a good headspace to possibly find more awful people to add to my life. Finding him is something I'll get to eventually, but right now, I don't want to make it bad to worse. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to be a part of my father's family for the time I have to live with them and letting them know they can let me live with my actual family if it hurts their feelings so bad? My mom and dad's relationship broke up when I, 17 male, was 2. Mom had full custody of me. Dad was given visitation but never took it. He moved a couple of hours away and didn't try to be my parent. So for as long as I can remember, my mom was the only parent I recognized. I used to think he at least paid child support. But when mom was sick, I found out he owed $15,000 in child support because he wasn't always good about paying. And he was even worse about paying the child support debt. A year ago, my mom had a stroke and she died 7 weeks later. To make a crappy situation even worse, the social worker from the hospital contacted CPS, and they spoke to my dad and told him about mom dying and asked if he would take full custody of me. I wanted to stay with my grandparents or my aunt or even my uncle. Any of them would have worked for me. They were all willing to. CPS said I needed to be with my parent. Dad said yes, and a judge ruled in favor of Dad over my actual family. I spoke to the judge and explained my dad was a stranger and I didn't want to live with him, but he told me it would be good for me to have a shot at a dad, and he said I needed to make it work until I was 18. My dad remarried a few years ago, and he's been raising his wife's 6-year-old son since they were dating. I wasn't happy about living with them, and I let my dad and his wife know. She told me I'd fit right in, and we'd be a family in no time. I don't think she expected me not to want this to work. I refused to sit and eat with them. I refused to take the part of an older brother to her son. I refused to talk to her about my feelings, and I don't call them mom and dad or even parents. I use their names. I stay out of the house pretty often, and I refuse to try family therapy with them. I didn't say a single word with them in the room, and to the therapist alone, I said I didn't want to be a part of their family, and I wasn't going to make any effort to try this. I've left and gone to my grandparents' house a few times without saying anything, and his wife showed up threatening to get the judge involved again and CPS. So I'd go back in case my grandparents got into any kind of trouble. I'd ignore her lectures about respecting her and Dad more. She's 6 months pregnant as of now, and she's going crazy with stress because the baby changes nothing for me. I don't care that the kid is related to me through blood. I don't care that she wants us to be a real family, and I don't care if it hurts their feelings that I don't want to be their family. My stance has not changed. My dad and his wife tried to sit me down a few days ago to appeal to my sense of whatever they called it. I don't really remember now, but they said they wanted me to try and be a part of the family, at least until I'm 18 and move out. They said as long as I'm here and they're trying, I should try. I said I won't, and I don't care if it hurts their feelings. They can always send me home to my family if it hurts that bad. My dad's wife asked me what the heck was wrong with me and how come I had no compassion for the innocent kids involved in this. I told her I was forced to be there against my will and I wasn't cooperating to make her kids happy. I don't think my dad wants to keep me. He won't come out and say it, but it feels like this is all his wife and maybe him avoiding child support. But she's way more proactive than him, and she dominates those talks we've had. Am I the a-hole? Tell her does she know he owed over 15 grand in child support, and to let her know that odds are not in her favor for when they split up. I brought that up. She already knew, or she didn't care either way, because it was a non-issue for her. Sue him for the owed child support. It's yours legally. Plenty of kids have been doing it. Not the a-hole. Remind them both that he was absolutely fine not being a family or even financially supporting you the last 15 years. You're not a family. Sperm donor has made that very clear through his own actions. She doesn't care about the child support not being paid. Apparently, she's fine marrying and having a kid with a guy who abandoned one already. Reminding her or them more isn't going to do anything but make them dig their heels in, I fear. If she won't protect her son's feelings, she's not going to care about me being annoying. Not the a-hole. Your father had 17 years to establish a relationship with you, or at least be there for you financially. Instead of leaving you with the family you have left, he selfishly took you away from them. Now his wife, who's a complete stranger, is telling you to do better by them and play big brother to kids who are also total strangers. Makes me wonder if you can still demand the $15,000 after you are 18 and sue him for it. I looked it up before, and I don't think so. But my grandparents said they'd pay for a lawyer when I'm 18, and we can find out for sure. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing contact with Bio Dad after no contact from him? Backstory. Bio Dad cheated on my mom when I was 3. I'm 36 now, female. She found out and said it was over. Good on her, I say. Years moved on. Mom met my stepdad when I was 5, and they've been together ever since. This is the man I call Dad with absolute ease, as he's more than earned that title. Stepdad raised me, couldn't adopt me as Bio Dad kept skipping out on appointments to confirm it, and I call him Dad. Bio Dad has randomly reached out over the years through social media, about 5 times, and has tried reaching out again recently. I left the message unread, as I didn't even recognize the picture or name fully until much later. He's been unwell. cancer, but is now in remission and recovering. But it's apparently made him realize how much he's missed out on in my life. I finally replied, stating that as it had no interest in my life when I was growing up and didn't even attempt to help financially support mom with food and clothes for me when I was young, I have absolutely no interest in him whatsoever. He's a stranger to me and mine and would never be allowed in my life. My stepdad is one of the most amazing men, so selfless in helping raise me and such a role model for me growing up, and he continues to be. I would do anything for him, as he has done for me. Biodad called me a selfish traitor to my own blood because I don't want anything to do with him. I had my last name changed to my stepdad's name the day I turned 18 because I'm proud of who he is and who I've become because of his contribution to my life. Not the a-hole. He did it himself and blood means nothing. Family does. There are adult adoptions can look into. Not in the UK. I've looked into it so many times to see if the laws have changed. This is why I did the deed poll name change the day I turned 18. Oh, that sucks and I'm sorry. Me too. Keep hoping things change so I can give my dad the papers for Father's Day 1 year, and all he has to do is sign them. You should reply that actually he's the traitor to his own blood since he completely abandoned you, his own child, then block him for good. Not the a-hole. These relationships are tricky. Do what you feel is best for you, regardless. I had a very similar relationship with my biological father. I made it a point to have one good conversation with him to answer any questions that I had. The only question I really had was whether there were any other brothers or sisters. After that, he died, and I don't feel bad for my lack of relationship with him, and neither should you.